Hey guys, and welcome to this edition of Superhero Bar Fight. This is a special edition of our show, and we're going to bring it to you and pay sort of homage to friends of our show and brilliant people as well at Abrupt Audio, with of course Chris Huskins and Ant McGinley at the helm. And I was speaking to them, and they wanted us to do this so they could kind of do like a cross-brand episode of this, so they can help us out with a few listeners, and of course, we can talk about their favorite heroes. Ant being Ant, we're gonna throw in Antman against Chris Huskins, which is a favorite hero, which is Batman. So that's what we got on today.
Yeah, so let's do this. So should we do the which way round do you want to do this? Should we do Ant-Man first?
Yeah, you go for Ant-Man.
Okay,
you're the Marvel boffin.
Yeah, okay. As opposed to the depressed DC man over there.
Martha!
Martha!
Why did you say that name?
Yeah, we should have put that in there as a weakness. Just say his mom's name. So yeah, Ant-Man, obviously the size changing ability. He can both shrink, and for this, we're not doing Paul Rudd Ant-Man. We're doing proper Hank Pym. So we've got the full scale, just so he go giant form as well. And obviously when he's in giant form, he did do that, I guess, in Civil War. But we're talking very easy back and forward here, proper Ant-Man
underwater. That's how he did it in Civil War.
Yeah, when he's in giant form, he gets proper super strength as well, instead of just normal strength on a really small point of impact. Obviously, everything that he has done in the past with his infiltration abilities, and he's an absolutely insanely good hacker. So I've got down here, obviously, his engineering and hacking abilities. He developed the suits. He developed the technology. He's a very, very intelligent guy. He's one of the most intelligent people in the Marvel Universe. He creates Ultron. Obviously, we've all seen Age of Ultron. Tony Stark made Ultron. No, Hank Pym made Ultron originally. He's the guy that creates AI.
Was he? Prick.
Yeah, he was the prick that destroyed the Marvel Universe. So yeah, I've got it down there as well, genius intellect. So that's all going to come into play as we sort of move on to all the Batman stuff.
As well, you've got to add in, he's got his army of ants.
Oh yeah, his army of ants, because they're going to come into use.
Yeah, squish. Okay, so obviously we all know Batman. We all love Batman. I love Batman. He's obviously a master of martial arts, of almost every martial art. He's got his high-tech gadget, his beautiful toys, as he's always been talking about. He's a stealth specialist. He has the ability and agility. The way these pictures come through is very cloudy. Agility and his grappling hook, and he has the genius intellect as well.
I think, right, we, first of all, need to take some lessons in PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out there for the starter.
First of all, send me a picture that hasn't got, like, a ton of glare on it, so I can't see half of your living
room. It's sunny. It's sunny today, okay? So leave my picture-taking abilities out of this. Ant-Man is going to destroy some bats.
No, I don't. See, the thing is, right, I love Batman, and everybody knows I love Batman, so I don't want to come across as biased, but I can't help but think that Batman has come across worse people than Ant-Man and nailed them to the floor. So there is a way that Batman's going to do this. It's just hard trying to think about how. I mean, he's got his gadgets, of course. So that's EMP, electroshock, whatever, plastic. He can fucking throw everything at him, can't he? And the only problem is those discs that Ant-Man has, where you could like throw a truck at him. He can kind of throw it like he does in Civil War. Throw this at this,
Exactly. If Ant-Man has got discs that can inflate into trucks, or anything for that matter, I really struggle to think how Batman's actually going to get a hit on him. Now the thing is, with Ant-Man and his size changing abilities, it's that first hit. Everyone's seen Falcon try to take him on, and Falcon has got a lot better way of trying to locate an enemy than Batman has. yeah, he's high tech. He's got probably switch out visions and got infrared and thermal and all that kind of stuff. Ant-Man's gonna go small, and he's gonna run all the way up his cape, and he's gonna hit him in the head, and he's gonna knock Batman out.
Okay, first of all, before we start getting ahead of ourselves, let's set the scene, shall we? Okay. So they're in a bar.
Now, I reckon they should be on a beach, drinking on sunbeds, drinking shots of tequila, and everyone's having a good time, and there's umbrellas. And
Miami.
They're in Miami. Yeah, there's people playing volleyball on the beach, and there's like...
Hold on, but it's Batman. Batman comes out at night.
Stop being logical. Okay?
They're on a beach at night in Miami.
Yeah, they're on a beach at night. Ant-Man is going to turn small, first of all. And then he's going to think, oh shit, I'm falling through the grains of sand. So let's pick a different fucking location.
Okay, so Batman's lying on the beach, full fucking cowl, just getting his suntan.
You just think he gets a suntan like that? Do you think he takes off his cowl and he's just like, oh, Bruce, you left your cowl on again? He's just like, God damn it.
That's how they'd know who he was, because he'd have this brown patch with face. We just solved Batman. Anyway, no, I think he's stood there skulking on top of a lighthouse. Okay, he's scoping the beach.
Okay, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he sees this giant figure walking down the beach towards him, because Hank Pym is pissed. We don't know why. Why is he pissed?
He's pissed because I don't know why he's pissed, because we're doing a video about Martha. It. Because Martha. Yeah. Why Ant-Man would be pissed off about Martha, I have no idea. Because that played too big a part in that movie, and he thought it should have been a smaller part. And he's like, if I'd have wrote that part, I'd have used my shrinking technology and reduced that scene to fucking 0.
Okay, and then Batman throws down a smoke pellet. He swings around on his grappling hook to behind the giant Batman, shoots him with a tranq dart. He falls asleep, he goes away, and he drowns him in the ocean.
You see, when you said giant figure, I thought you were on about giant Hank Pym walking down the beach.
That's what I meant. Yeah, so Ant-Man's walking down the beach towards Batman whilst he's on this lighthouse, and he's like, okay. So he throws down a smoke pellet. He's gone. He swings around to behind Giant Man or Ant-Man. He hits him with a tranq dart. Hank Pym falls asleep, passed out. Batman scoops him up, takes him on a boat out into the ocean, and drops him in the sea with rocks tied to his ankles. And no one can ever see Ant-Man ever again.
Well, I'm glad we made use of all their abilities.
Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon?
So I'm liking the idea, but I reckon halfway through that grapple, a giant hand coming across Batman, slapping him upside of his fucking half-tanned face, first of all, straight back into the lighthouse where he came from. I think there'd be a few back and forwards about that. I think the tranq dart, you've got to bear in mind, that's all about dosing, so even if eventually he manages to get a tranq dart on him, he's not going to have the dose for something that size, so maybe he makes him a bit drowsy, maybe he makes him go back to normal size.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so that the tranq darts kind of scuppered his growability.
Yeah.
So
I reckon then they'd have obviously Batman is a tech genius, right? He's got all of his gadgets.
Yeah,
I know Lucius makes them, but he knows how to make them as well, let's face it. He's clever enough to do that own stuff. It's like, if Lucius hands in his resignation, he's not going to be like, oh no, I've got no one to make my stuff for me. He's just going to go make it himself. I reckon there could be a, you get these people that go to parks and they do like that quick chess thing where they like make a move and then hit the timer. I reckon there's going to be a little moment like that where Batman is trying to use a gadget and then Hank Pym is doing anti-gadget stuff. And then Batman's doing anti-gadget stuff. And it will just be this really drawn-out process of them wiping each other's gadgets out.
Throwing a batarang and then Ant-Man throwing a shrinking disc at it, and it just bounces off him.
Yeah, you've seen that bit in remember Worms, and if you didn't press anything, you'd get the movie sequences coming up, and the one worm pulled out a baseball bat, and then the other would pull out a pistol, and then one would pull out an Uzi, and then the other one pull out a machine gun, and then it was a grenade, and then it was a missile, and then it was the holy grenade. It'd be like that. It'd be Batarang, then it'd be Shrinking Disc, and then it'd be Plastique, and then it would be giant orb size changey thing, whatever Ant-Man has, and it would just be that. What it will come down to, though, I think minds wise, that their actual intelligence would be clashing against each other, their tech experience would be clashing against each other. Batman's agility isn't really going to do much when you either can't hurt someone or can't see someone. Batman needs to get him at normal size, not small or big, to win.
I've been thinking about like Ant-Man shrinking down to ant size and coming at Batman. Now, if I was a normal person, never mind Batman, that would be my opportunity to throw a smoke pellet with some sort of something that would slow Ant-Man down, something that would make him hallucinate. You know, I don't know, something that make him tired or woozy or something. Bam! There's a cloud. He moves. He changes position. And he gets out the way, because you can't look for him and try and stamp on him. Obviously, that's stupid. But you need to change position. So if he's jumping at Batman and he suddenly finds himself in a huge cloud of smoke, he can't see where he's gone. He's going to have to come back to normal size, isn't he? So
not necessarily. Do you know what I think is going to happen here? I think there's going to be a Batarang get thrown at normal size Hank. He's going to throw one of the shrinking discs at him, send that shrinking disc small, go down to small size himself, launch himself at him, and then throw the shrinking disc back up to giant size, and there'd be this huge container-sized Batarang just go bang right in Batman's face.
It's almost like a Joker scene. You just imagine it, couldn't you? This is hard. This is really hard. They're both trained in martial arts. Hank Pym was a special agent, you know.
The way I see this is, if I was Ant-Man, like, first of all, if I was Batman, I'd be thinking, I can't beat him giant, I can't see him small, and I can't really keep him at normal size. If I was Ant-Man, I'd be like, if I'm tiny, I just need to, like, run up to his shoe and stamp on it.
And also, as well, you got to think about these toys that Batman's got. He could get the Batwing on an auto remote, and he can have that flying around as well. So if he's giant, he could literally do the scene out of Civil War, tie his legs up, make him fall to the floor. So he could take him down as a giant, but I don't think he could defeat him.
So if we were to say that there'd be an 80-80 Star Wars scene with with the thing going around his legs, and say that it was like that old movie, do you think we'd be stealing a joke?
But it's also very true. That's the thing. You can't deviate from it. I'm not going to use the same thing. It's the same dialogue, but it's the same scenario, isn't it? You know?
I reckon so. Yeah.
So if he goes small, smoke pellets, move out the way, because you're not going to be able to see him coming. But I think Batman is that quick and that clever that he would know to do that. I don't think he would even try and take him on as a small ant.
Yeah, I reckon he'd get punched to shit to begin with, until he clocks that, hang on a minute, I'm getting punched by this. He's not invisible, because I can't see him because his vision, he has to be small. He's going to work that out pretty quickly. And I reckon you're right with the smoke pellets, even though I'm just throwing random stuff out there. I reckon he's throw a smoke pellet out there, and he's got to basically run 15 miles of tiny Ant-Man distances to even see him. He's gonna have to go back up to normal or big size, and at that point it's either Batman's gonna win in a fist fight at that point, or it's gonna be 80-80.
Can you imagine him coming, like, going back to normal size, and all of a sudden Batman's behind him, plastic on them right in the small of his back, and then bam, he's gone. He's blown in two. But he wouldn't do that. It's Batman, so he would find a way to. He shoots those tasers. Shoot a taser at the suit, disable the suit. I think he would definitely do something like that. Disable Pym's suit, and then strip him naked.
And Batman wins in the most homoerotic way ever that didn't need to go that direction, but it is... Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's got to be that way, isn't it?
I think that's got to be the result. It's got
to end with Hank Pym lying naked on the beach with with one of those tiny little umbrellas from a sangria
floating down very slowly.
His ass cheeks.
And land straight. Yeah. Straight in the bum. Yeah. All right.
And then Batman just throws a giant disc at it while it's in his ass cheeks. Sorry. But there we go. That's that one.
Yeah.
You think?
I reckon Batman can take that. I don't think I'd agree. I reckon small Ant-Man would whoop his ass with his eventually, but I can roll with it. I need to find out if Batman's ever taken on the Atom. I'm pretty sure he has, and how that's ever gone on. So we'll find that out, and I'll get back to you next week. Yeah, man.
On that one.
Cool. Well, Batman wins, and thanks for joining us again.